All right. Hi, welcome to another live stream. Name's Eric. I run the the New Balance basketball fan site, NB Hoops Life on IG. And here and there, I like to just, as the mood suits me, just throw out some ideas, some thoughts on the Hoops line, where it's at, because right now it's the biggest it's ever been, I would say, for the company, or at least it's the biggest opportunity for the brand to make some moves, to make things happen. So just want to get into what I want to see. Got my notes here from NB Hoops Line division. So some of them are more realistic than others. Some would not happen. I recognize that fully. Doesn't mean I don't want to see it happen, but some things just aren't practical, just aren't realistic, and maybe the timing isn't quite right, and it's a ways down the line, and that's fine. That's okay. That's I can wait. First thing I would love to see. Number one, I would love to see the Omnis Retro. I'd love to see that original basketball shoe that relaunched the line come back in whatever form. There are so many different things New Balance can do with it. I would say the biggest one would be the what if pack of sorts, the colors that didn't come out that could have. The Detroit camo and the 515, and there are a few others that didn't happen that I think would have been pretty cool to see. So that would be an awesome one. I would love to see that. Or, the colors that maybe had samples, like those alternative team colors that were made for teams that Kawhi was potentially going to go to, like the Knicks, which I don't think ever would have happened. The Lakers, same. And the Raptors, which he could have stayed with, of course. So that's one thing I'd love to see. Barring that, I don't think that'll happen. With the existing product, I would like to see, because I don't think the Omnis will release Omnis. I think Omnis is how you pronounce it. But I would like to see big initiatives, things that are supposed to happen actually happen. It seems like there's so many canceled projects from the New Balance Hoops line, the division, and that's a shame because a lot of work is put into them, and there's potential with those. There's a reason why they were even thought of to begin with. Why they were put out there as options. The Mountain Dew collab, on the Fresh Foam BB, and the Gray Days. These things could have been, but they never materialized. And the Kawhi, the Gray Day shirts from the B3, that never happened because they misspelled Detroit on it, and that's the shame. I would have loved to have one even with the misspelling, maybe even more so. But it's a shame that it couldn't happen. Would have loved to see it. Would have loved to have my hands on a couple of those, and the gray and the blue. Still will. They're out there. But yeah, I would love to see these big things happen. And the thing that everybody wanted, the Kawhi Grade 8-3. I get so many people asking about that shoe. There were a number of Fresh Foam BBs that didn't happen. And there was a black version. There was a team Bulls colorway, white with black and red. There was a grayish with red. A number of that Zach LaVine wore as a PE. A number of things that just almost happened. I think Baisley had it too. That never happened. That could have, would have, should have, and it's a shame. And it sucks. It kind of halts the progress. It feels like it does mean that there would be a lot more projects in stores, or a lot more something to work with, but also a lot more on the shelves, and that can be tricky. There has to be a balance there. So certainly that leads into the next thing, which is not overdoing it. The slow, steady releases, would love to see them, but have maybe more transparency and more of a timeline with it that can be followed. Things just seem to happen kind of randomly, and dates are always moving, and it's hard to follow. And you get excited about something, but it happens who knows when, and it's a shame. So I'd like to see certainly the transparency when something's coming out, knowing it and being aware and being able to prepare for it. I think we've seen that better with things like the Jamal Canada PE and the the Chalco PE, there was a little more time for that. The Jamal 2AV3 with NBA 2K, the lead up to it was awesome. It was great. Was able to get excited about it, create a little hype, little buzz. At least in my world. So that was nice, but it doesn't always happen. Today's a great example. 2AV3 came out yesterday. 4 colors released. One was a blue pair on Dick's that a number of the players, Chris Livingston, Cam Brinks, I think Nick Smith, 1 or 2 others might have put on their IG stories. Let us know it's out there. Cool. And then today, I haven't seen anything yet. Somebody let me know. I think 8 colors in total are out. So there's like a color that only Boston College had, and a maroon, all black, a red with white sole, blue with white sole, all white. These all got listed on NewBalance.com. Somebody didn't tell me. I wasn't checking to see if they were getting listed, so I would have missed them. Somebody didn't let me know, but they're there now. They're up for grabs. Anybody who wants them. So knowing these things, having that transparency. If it was on New Balance IG, I didn't see it, or any social. I didn't see any promotion for it. New Balance can do what they want to do. They can promote it or not, but if you don't know about it, you're not going to buy it. You're not even going to get a chance to consider buying it, and that's a shame. So I definitely like the Omnis. I would like to know what's coming, have better advance warning, have some notice. Let's build up to it, lead up to it, to have some excitement and buzz instead of this is coming tomorrow, and then boom, there it is, and then just kind of moving on. Or maybe seeing a little about it. So that's a shame. I would also like to see more on these smaller things that are some of the cooler projects. The Boston College PEs, I like them a lot. They've been great. The Fresh Foam BB, the black one, a little bit of burgundy, really nice looking shoes. I think a lot more people would like to see, maybe get a chance to buy. I mean, it'd be fantastic if they could end up in like the Boston College team store. Okay, that may be asking a little too much. The fan base might not be quite there. It's a very regional thing at best, and that's fine. But still, it'd be cool, if Boston College, if Maine gets one, could happen. Things like that could be in the works. You never know. Would love to see, a chance to actually buy them. I've found a way to get hold of some, but those roundabout things, it's not the most fun to have to really work that hard to get a hold of them and go through what it takes to get a hold of them at the end of a season too. The other one are the high schools. So we have Putnam Science getting a PE, and then Combine Academy. Nobody really knows about them. It's a shame. And they're limited to whatever amount of pairs are given to the team, and maybe a coach or two. I don't know, but it would be nice to see them actually put out into the world, to see somebody, the team IG, NB Hoops team IG would be one way to put it out there. Maybe not. I mean, that's fine. If you don't want to, if New Balance doesn't want to put it out there, they don't have to, but it's a shame because why even do it? Some of the better projects have been, or some of the more interesting ones, I should say, where they're logoed with these team schools. So it would be nice to see. And they're, like I said, they're logoed, they're limited. At least let people know, build some hype, some buzz about it. Probably the last thing I would like to see, well, 2 things, I guess, rotate the PEs. Let's see a rotation and give a chance. Jamal's got a lot of PEs. I love them. They're fantastic. I just got the Canada one today. It's great. Chef's kiss. Just the details, the colors, vivid, lush. I love it. But everybody's asking for the Maxi PE. That's probably the most requested one I've seen. I would say Cam Brinks one could do quite well. I'll never know for sure until it actually happens. Cooper, obviously, he's a prime candidate for one, and it's early, so there's still time for something like that to happen. But that rotation, Jamal's not the only player on the squad. Darius Baisley got some awesome PEs as are given to him on court. Would have been interesting to see some release. I like his logo, Neesmith. Use it as a way to introduce these players to the public. The guys who maybe aren't as well known, Nick Smith, who might be rising up, Chris Livingston, their PEs, all right, they may not sell as well. It's true. But if you can make 10 for the player, you can maybe make 30 or 40 to sell and use this as a way to market these guys, to build up interest in them. Do it on a regional, local level, but it drive me crazy short because it would make it difficult for me to get them. But I would understand it. You got a DeJounte Murray. This guy was an all-star. Hasn't had a PE in a store. Tyrese Maxey. Same deal. Even a Zach LaVine, all-star. Never had a PE in a store. So I would love to see that happen. Unless you count the first, might actually count the Paris Fresh Foam BB. Give you that. So on a smaller scale. But would love to see other guys get a chance, have those PEs. I mean, you did have the Baisley 992 as well. Done very limited. It's been a while, so long I've even forgot about it. But I would like to see more there. And kind of on the same note, in that same vein, you got all these players. I named a bunch of them. I didn't name all these high school guys. I didn't name, who did I forget? Shoot, I forgot Kawhi, of course. I didn't mention him on that last one. Haven't seen too much of him for whatever reason. You got the Baisley, you got Murray, you got Jamal, and Darius Garland was the other one that even I'm forgetting because, hey, he's in a situation where he's not as visible. But they have him not really utilizing as much. He was an all-star last year, if I am not mistaken. So, again, it would be nice to see these guys, put them out there, using the players you have. You can sign more talent. You can get more players. It's great. But you build up this whole roster, and then what? What are you going to do with them? So I'd like to see something done with them. I want to know more about these guys. I want to see their faces out there. We got Isaiah Harwell. He just signed with the University of Houston. That's my area. I live in Houston. I would love to know about this guy. I'd love to get a chance to see what he does on court. I'm sure I will. But I'd love to hear more about these guys and know what they're about, what makes them tick. We're seeing it a little. The Slam initiatives are good. They did one. They did a couple with Jamal. I think one with Tyrese Maxey. Harwell got one. No, not Harwell. Different player. I can't remember now. But the other high school player. But there have been a couple. But a different high school player got one. Now I'm looking with Slam. Point is, I'd like to see these guys put out there and highlighted and spotlighted. We have the player, the female player who's going to go to Texas, Crump. I don't really know much about her. I would like to know more. I'm not really seeing much put out there, and I'm trying to find these things out. So if I can't find out, I can imagine the people who are just kind of passively into it and interested, can imagine that they would have difficulty finding out some of these things as well. So for what it's worth, these are things that I would like to see. They're not all practical. They're not all possible. I get that. That's fine. But it's something that I would be in favor of seeing. I think it makes sense for what the line is and for where the line is at. Debatable. I'd like to hear what people think about that, certainly. I'm always up or down for that discussion. Harwell. It was Harwell. I thought that Caleb Wilson was the other player who had that profile done. So they're putting it out there. I mean, Wilson, 17,000 followers on IG. I want to say Harwell has more, but I could be wrong. 14,000. So they're putting it out there. That's not bad. It's a start. Good sign of things to come, I hope. Certainly guys that are on social, it always makes sense to have them. So and I guess the last thing I was mentioned is hoops and lifestyle. Want to see more there. We have Joe Freshgoods to work with. I think he's down to do something. It came to my attention the other day that there was going to be a project on a Kawhi 3 or 4 October last year, kind of beans were spilled, but nothing didn't really get any attention at the time. I didn't notice it. And if I didn't, most people wouldn't have, but people do see these things. They do get caught, but nobody brought it to my attention. Would love to see these collabs happen. It would be awesome. Things like a Kawhi Joe Fresh Goods. ALD is always a welcome one that the community would like to see. It was Hugh Hefner last October let us know that a Kawhi was going to come out. Didn't happen. ALD, it's a big one. Been waiting for that for a while. Would be nice if it happened. We're seeing them made, just never released. So be it. There was a two-way Fresh Foam BBB2. Actually, two ways. The first low and then the V3. So I'd like to see them actually hit stores. Something. Throw 10 pairs in the store. I'll find a way to get one. But whatever the case, that's kind of my wish list there. So it's a lot. It may not be realistic. Maybe none of it is realistic. Let me know what people think. But I'd love to see school PEs. I'd love to see a rotation in PEs. Some kind of retro. And Omnis is one that makes sense. 5 years into the line, can be crazy limited. I would even like to see the fun little things like the All-Star game, the Gamer Pack. Little things like that, done little promotional stuff. Start putting it out there. So that's my take. Let me know what you think. Hopefully enjoy watching this. There will be more. It's the fall for NB Hoops. I'm looking forward to seeing what comes out. Two-way now. Hopefully there's some big releases on deck, on tap. Find out soon enough. All right. Thanks for watching. Later.